Hi everyone, I'm Abra. Welcome to my Paris apartment tour. Welcome back to my channel, everyone. This week is episode 3 of the apartment tour series, and the study case is my apartment. As always, if you enjoyed this video, don't hesitate to like, subscribe, and share it. Now let's start. So I live in Paris, which is a city I love, and this space is a studio apartment. It is around 30 square meter, which is like 376 square foot if I'm not mistaken, and I'm definitely utilizing every single inch of it. So when you first walk into my apartment, you fall into the entryway. As you can see, it's pretty minimal, and I try to keep this area of my home quite decluttered because it is very easy for me to just accumulate stuff, especially here, whether it's stuff that I want to take out or just stuff that I don't really know what to do with. To avoid this, I have put here everything that I need, whether it is before I go out or, first thing I do when I come back is to use all of this stuff. Here we have my favorite bag. It is, if you know, very much inspired by the Row, and it is from a British brand, I believe, called Studio 94. Here I have my tote bags, and there's actually my favorite tote bag, which is the one that I use anytime I have to go out because it's really small and it fits in my leather bag. This is the bag. It is from the British Black Cultural Archives. It was a gift from my friend Via. Hey Via, thank you. And yeah, it's really cool to have this with me while I am out and about. I also like to keep my shoes in the entryway. Right now, because it's raining in Paris, I've been rocking my Doc Martens. Oh yeah, that's a rule about my house. I have house shoes. So yeah, anything that's been outside, usually I like to have even my guests put their shoes in the entryway just as you walk into the apartment. So as a reminder, this is the entry door where I have my bag and all that stuff. Right when you come in is my bathroom, and I'll give you a little tour. So we're in the bathroom now. And I really like what I've done with the space. I wouldn't say it's done just yet, but I really like it. I think it's coming together quite nicely. I like that it's minimal. When I first moved into this space, I remember thinking, wow, the bathroom is pretty big. I don't know if it's a thing about Parisian apartments, but that was the first time where I had a bathroom that felt like I could circulate a little bit. I mean, there's even space to put a washing machine, which I'm so grateful for, and it's pretty well thought. I mean, you have the door here, and right behind me is the shower, so that helps because it doesn't take too much space. And they also thought of creating space to hang towels and stuff like that. So yeah, the only thing that I really added was a shelf so that I could put some of my beauty favorites, and I added a tray. I won't bore you too much with details of what I use or in the morning, in the evening, because I know there's both a morning and night routine, I think, videos on my channel at this point. I will put it in the cards, but I just wanted to really quickly talk about some of my favorites just in case you're in the market for new ones. And so this is an oil. Actually, there's a couple of them, but this is an oil from a brand called Rousey. So yeah, these are two of my favorite oils. I've been using oils for my skin, face and body actually for years. So this is rose hip oil, and in the morning that's pretty much all I use. And this is hemp oil. This is actually really good, especially for the winter month. I find that it helps my skin retain moisture, and I use it for the nighttime. These are two oils that I definitely recommend because they are awesome, and the packaging is really cute as well. The one thing I am excited of doing is buying more towels. I know this is kind of weird and it definitely makes me feel like I'm old, but I do. Actually, if you have any good brands, this is so weird, but if you do have any good brands that you would like to recommend, please let me know in the comments down below. If we are continuing in the entryway, now there's something that I guess is not really normal to be here, but that's the reality of living in a small apartment. Sometimes you have to work with the space constraints. So here is my elliptical machine, which I bought, I think, yes, it was last year, and honestly, I don't really have another space to store it, so for now, that's where it resides. I like to cheat a little bit and say that it's not really in the entryway, it's more in the hallway leading to my apartment. The final part of my entryway slash hallway is this mirror. I've actually had it for years. I believe I took it from my parents' home when I first moved to Paris, and to be honest, it doesn't really go with the theme of my apartment, but it serves its purpose, which is to be able to look at myself in the mirror before I leave the house. I'd have to say that as far as my entryway slash hallway is concerned, I wouldn't necessarily consider them as the most done spaces in my apartment, and actually pondered whether or not to show you what it looked like today. But as much as this series is about apartment tours, it's also for me about how I organize my small space, and the fact that sometimes things aren't looking that great is part of it. So yeah, I wanted to share it too. Let's get to the cool places now. Come in. We are now in the main room, which honestly is the purpose of the video. I wanted to show you how I've transformed it, because I have.
Why do I feel at home here? I think first and foremost, I really identify with the idea that home are created. I think creating a home is a very intentional process, and it's also about being honest, because your home might change depending on what you need it to be. I know for me, because I love being in a space where I can relax, a space that is also calm and peaceful, my home sort of transforms and kind of double as my own retreat center sometimes. So yeah, I think it's about being honest and creating a home that is intentional and resembles you.
I have made this space my dining room, my living room, my library, and my bedroom. Let me show you how. To begin with is this space that is now my art slash magazine corner, I guess. My intention with this space, honestly, was to find somewhere where I could put the art that was previously in my entryway, and I also had a few magazines that I don't read and didn't really feel like throwing away just yet. If you are familiar with my channel, you'll remember this. That was in my bedroom, then in my entryway. But yes, I made this a couple years ago. I quite like making art myself. Yeah, and I decided to add this Matisse print, who's a painter that I really like. I would say right now I definitely would like to change the art that is exposed, whether it's here or my apartment in general. So again, if you have any recommendation, please let me know.
Organizing a small space can definitely be difficult and take some time as well. I know that for me, in my dining room or dining space, it really took me a while to put that space together, First, I decided to use a bench, a wooden bench, and under it I stacked some of the vases I don't use. But then when it came to the table, I had it modified because the one that I DIY'd actually ended up not holding. So yeah, that was hard. I also bought 2 chairs that I really like. I think the name of the style for the chairs is farmhouse or something. So yeah, I think it looks really good, and I feel like the fact that everything is black sort of make the space come together. I mean, at first I was a bit sad because the table I made looked really good, but this one is sturdy, and honestly there's no competition. But yeah, it was a struggle. I even changed its space, actually. It used to be near the shelving system, but I quite like what it's looking like right now.
Right above the dining table is a little shelf, and this is also a detail that I like. I think it really works with the space. What I really like about it is that I feel like it's a bit of decor that I brought to a space that is basically pretty functional with the chairs and the table and all of that. So yeah, that was my way to bring a little bit of decor, but also things that I love. I'm including a breakdown of my little shelf, just in case this is something you would like to make for yourself. First is my Frida Kahlo book, followed by a candle holder I made. And if you would like to watch how the DIY is on my channel, added a postcard by Rousey, the brand I mentioned earlier. And finally, here is a vase I also made myself. Finally, on the side, you have my plants. I love bringing a little bit of green to my space, and I decided to create a corner with all of my babies. I also decided to put them here because there's a window right here, and obviously it's important for them to get some sun. This is the first window in the main room. It's the one I just mentioned, facing the dining table and the plants. I placed the curtain rod slightly higher than the window to give an impression of higher windows. And I also went with white curtains made of linen. I love the effect. It's both soft and pretty elegant. I had recorded a whole segment on it, but I just noticed that it is facing the shops across the street for me. So for safety reason, this is the only shot I will be showing. Oh, and I almost forgot to talk about my lamp. So I don't know if you know that. If you live in Paris, maybe you do, but a lot of Parisian apartments don't have lights on their ceilings. So for a really long time I used bedside lamps or floor lamps, and a couple of weeks ago I decided to create my own ceiling lamp, I guess, using a cord and a lampshade that I really like. I think it looks amazing in the space, and to be honest, I also love to be able to have the light coming from the ceiling. I think it does change quite a lot. If you ever want to do something similar for your space, you only need an electrical cord, a lampshade. Mine is made of rice paper, and I slightly tainted it by using black tea. Alright everyone, this is the end of the video and the end of part 1. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, share it with anyone you think would like it, and subscribe to my channel for more content on home decor. So this video is episode 3 of my apartment tour series. I decided to add my space to the series because I really wanted to show you my updates. My apartment tour was one of the first videos I've ever filmed on my channel, and my apartment has changed a lot since then, so hopefully you've been enjoying it. I also hope that you can see enough of the space. Because my apartment is quite small, especially in the entryway, it is difficult to give you a shot of the whole space, but hopefully this went well. And finally, I do want to apologize because while editing, I saw that some of the footage is quite grainy. The truth is, it's been really dark in Paris lately and very early, so even while shooting pretty early, that is all I got, and I even added a light, and yet this is what I have. In any case, I do hope you still enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you again next week for part 2. All right, have a good day, and I will see you next Thursday. Bye!